Today we're going to do a stall bedding absorption test. We've got 3 different types of stall bedding. In the first one we have a premium triple large stall bedding. As you can see, it's really nice and quite flaky. So we've got our premium bedding. It's a kiln dry, 3 times high premium bedding. We have our repurposed stall bedding, which has gone through our proprietary technology to dry it, sterilize it, pasteurize it, and make it pathogen free. Next to that, we have our premium bedding, which is OrganiLock premium bedding, and it's all been passed through the same technology. It's been dried, pasteurized, sterilized, all pathogens removed. So OrganiLock premium bedding, repurposed bedding through the OrganiLock technology, and premium triple select kiln dry large shavings that expand to about 10 feet. There's 2 bags of shavings in here, just so you know, for those horse owners out there. What we're going to do is we're going to simulate, these represent 3 different stalls. So we're going to simulate a little bit of happy stuff that we all love from our amazing recyclers and give you an idea of the 3 separate stall types. All right, as we know as horse owners, we usually get 1.5 to 2 gallons of urine a day per horse. What we've done is we've actually put 4 gallons in these water containers, and I'm going to pour it out to simulate horse urine. And this is our absorbency chart. It's not quite the pressure washer that we normally get, but it's close enough. So once again, this is 4 gallons. This simulates 2 days worth of horse urine from an average horse. Just like a horse. Good to the last drop. All right, this is our repurposed bedding. We're going to do the same thing. A little splash like we normally get. As you can tell by what's going on right here, it's already starting to absorb and trap it. And if you look in front, you're starting to see the absorbent of water come through. Okay, and this is our premium OrganiLock bedding. The same situation, 4 gallons of water coming in. And I would move it around, but like we know, that once the horses start, they don't stop. So they usually don't walk around. So now we're just going to wait until the last drop. So we finished our absorbency, and as you noticed, this one we pretty much lost all of our fluid out the drain. For the repurposed, which was the premium shavings, the repurposed, we didn't lose a drop. And then for the premium OrganiLock bedding, we lost just a little bit. So that being said, I'm going to come back to the premium shavings. I'm going to go ahead and apple pick them out. And this test will show you the volume that you're going to lose in the process. Hopefully you guys all have horses that put it all in a pile and don't mash it around. All right, so as you notice, we get the broad apples out of the way. It gets hard to figure out where the water is, but the coloration is there. But because of the shavings, you want to get all the wetness that you can if it's urine. But you got to keep going because it's still wet. There's a little bit of dry, but it's still wet. And which is ordinary with these type of shavings, the water goes right through the top and ends up on the bottom and getting underneath it. So if you don't look for it, you won't find it. So you can notice by the volume, we lost a lot of water, it hit the bottom and went out. The normal stall without a drain, it's just gonna sit there and it's gonna eat up your shavings from the bottom up. So now we're moving on to the repurposed. We'll get all the manure out first. And notice here, if I shake it, I'm gonna get more manure out and less material. And now we're gonna go for the wet spot. And if you notice as I go down, it really is surface. If you look at that, that's all dry underneath there. So you've been able to trap it on the surface and not get down underneath where your horse might slip, like you can over there. If the water gets underneath the shavings, your horse moves around and could slip because there's still saturation underneath there. Here we've already got it, right on the surface. Here's a good one right here, right on the surface. So you can look at the materials and see the differences already in the absorbency and the fact that we're not wasting material. And if you remember, the pressure point of the horse when we poured the water was right here. Look how deep we went. Look how deep we had to go over there. And another thing to think about this material, it's gonna dry out. That's just gonna sit there and bake in its water. Okay, so we're moving on to the premium bedding for OrganiLock. Same thing, nice and easy, nothing but poop. We can say that because we're all horse owners. All right. Here again, you look at the surface, you can see how deep it went. It was about 1/8 of an inch at most. And even with this pitchfork, it's clumped, so I can pick it up and it's not falling through my fork. That's a big deal for those of us that have to buy a lot of material. And here again, when I poured the water in, all 4 gallons, I poured it right here. So if your horse is pressure washing your stall, then usually it goes all the way down to the bottom of the stall. But this encapsulates it and gives you a nice, clean stall. Now, you come over here, we still have wet pieces in there. And once again, if we didn't have a drain, the 4 gallons that found its way out the door would be stuck in the stall and not on the floor. So that's your absorption test today. You make the decision. All right, so we've shown you what the bedding looks like in the stall and how they function. So now we're to the table and we're gonna do a little bit more scientific so you can actually visually see the differences. We've got the premium large flake horse stall bedding here. We've got the repurposed stall waste here, and we've got the OrganiLock premium bedding here. So we're gonna take each one of these canisters of water, have been measured out to the same 112 ounces. And we're gonna go ahead and simulate the horse urination. So all 3 tubs will get the same amount of water. We'll give it all a chance to soak in and see what moisture we get out of it. As you can tell, it's clumping up like it did yesterday in the stall. And this is almost one great big clump here. And you can tell I'm not picking up much moisture as I mix the bedding. So now, we've let it sat, I've mixed it. Now comes the scientific part. So we're gonna pour out what moisture we have back in the bucket. So in the way of absorbency, this is not very beneficial. Now the OrganiLock Premium. So I think you can tell by the amount of water that we're getting out, the repurposed barn waste and the OrganiLock Premium bedding is extremely more absorbent. And as you can tell, as I'm shaking this, I'm still getting dry material out the top. And as your horse moves around in the stall, it's just going to continue to absorb it. And there you have it. That's your absorbency scientific test here. OrganiLock Premium, repurposed stall waste, premium horse shavings, large.